Now that we've learned about lead generation, let's start prospecting in this episode. Whew. So, how does sales interact with marketing? Before we start prospecting, I want to show you about how sales interacts with marketing. So, if you look at the funnel of how a company gets leads, you'll see that sometimes a company also gets inquiries, right? In the case of Avalon, we get about 4,000 to 5,000 people every month asking us for some sort of product or service that we already have. So as you can see, those are the inquiries, and then the marketing team segregates those inquiries such that some of them that fit your persona go into the leads division, or they go into the leads part of the funnel. Then the responsibility of sales is to take those leads, qualify them, get prospects out of those leads, and then end up actually closing sales. So as you can see, marketing has to run ads, campaigns, contests, build a brand such that you get inquiries, and then they nurture those inquiries, get leads, and then they send qualified leads to sales. Sometimes sales also qualifies the leads by themselves. Sales has to figure out the ideal prospect. They have to pursue qualified leads, and then they have to cold call, email, LinkedIn message, whatever to get leads from elsewhere. And then finally, they negotiate and close sales. Turn your leads into prospects. So this is the process, right? Leads are cold. Cold means that they don't know about you, right? They've probably never even heard about you. What we have to do is build a relationship with them. Prospects are warm leads. When you reach out to a lead, who doesn't know about you, and then somehow you build a relationship or a rapport with them, then they become a warm lead. Warm means some contact has been made and some awareness has been built. Let's get on to how to build some warmness via a first touch. So first touch means the first time you reach out to somebody and they actually take a meeting or take a call or anything with you, some sort of positive reply. So on the left, you can see, does the lead want to proceed to have a conversation? Then that lead becomes a prospect. And then that prospect becomes an opportunity, and then you can close that opportunity. So how do you do first touch? And on the left, I've taken this graphic from somewhere. I couldn't find the source, but here are the set of B2B lead generation methods. Now don't look at the most effective and the least effective, because these always keep changing. Remember, I told you it's about noise. If everybody is doing, webinars, then webinars becomes a less effective method. If everybody's doing emails, then that becomes a less effective method. Find the most effective method right now that works right now. And people don't understand. They think this is the best technique or that is the best technique. It's about supply and demand. If everyone's using the email technique and all your prospects' inboxes are filled with hundreds of emails, then they're not going to open email, right? What you need to do is find the best technique now. And all of this is just the different channels you can reach out to, right? So the first touch, this list at least, is arranged according to cost and effectiveness. Something like picking up a phone and dialing a customer might seem like it's low cost, but it's only low cost in some countries like India or Bangladesh, which is why it's actually outsourced here. Whereas if you're sitting in the US and you had to hire somebody to manually call people, that's expensive. In the past, Facebook ads in the US used to be cheap. It used to be a cheap way of acquiring customers. Today, because everyone's using Facebook ads, it's become an expensive way of acquiring customers, and cold calls have become cheaper as human talent has become cheaper for this particular role in the US, right? So it's always waxing and waning. And that means that the costs of everything are going up and down. The effectiveness of everything is going up and down depending on the effectiveness of everything else and the cost of everything else. So you have to be smart enough to know what the best technique is right now. And sometimes old techniques come back. Sometimes new techniques fade out quickly. Have to be smart about what technique works today. Social used to be the least effective because they're more personal channels. That's now changing. So some of these channels are known for business. If you're reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn, you're probably not inviting them to a barbecue party, right? You're probably talking to them about business. It's called a professional channel. Social media like Instagram or Facebook used to be a personal channel. But today I find people selling me business stuff on Instagram. I find people selling me stuff on Facebook. So nothing's personal, nothing's business anymore. Everything is fair in love, war, and social media. First touch. First touch means how you actually reach out to somebody. And I'm going to focus on two techniques. There are many ways to do first touch. In fact, sending somebody a direct message on Instagram is also first touch. But here, I'm going to focus on two of the old school ones. I want to show you how it's done. Not because these are the most effective ones today. That might be true today, but it might be false 1 week later, right? It really depends on how many people are doing this at the moment. But what I'm saying is that once you learn the basics of actually getting good at one particular channel, you can apply the same rules and techniques to another channel. So let's focus on cold calling and cold emailing, and we're going to use something called a customer relationship management tool to manage sales. So we're going to do outbound lead generation using something called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? This is our standard technique for sending out emails. This is an Avalon technique. We're going to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator along with Foxbound, the Foxbound Chrome extension to find email IDs and phone numbers. Full disclosure, Foxbound is an Avalon investment, but it's free, especially if you're, a one or two man team, especially if you're trying things out, it's completely free, which is why I'm using it here. It's free. The goal is a spreadsheet or a CRM full of names, emails, and metadata. So let's get started with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and let's get started with Foxbound. So let me do all of that. First, what you have to do is you have to go to the Chrome extension store, Chrome extensions, and let's get Foxbound. Right, let's get the Foxbound extension. Let's add it to Chrome. Foxbound basically allows you to take a person's details from LinkedIn and convert that into an email ID, right? So I've just added that to Chrome. And you have to log into Foxbound. So let me make an account on Foxbound. So let's go to foxbound.io. You can just sign up for free. Let me sign in. You guys can just sign up, but let me sign in. All right, awesome. I was able to sign into Foxbound. That's wonderful. And as you can see, this is the Foxbound dashboard, right? Foxbound is a tool that allows you to send out email IDs and collect prospects and prospect people, right? Get the right prospects. So we're going to use something called Data Scout, which is Foxbound's tool to be able to go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator and extract leads from there. So I think I have 1,000 credits, 10,000 credits. That's cool. You might have a few credits. So let's do this. Let's go to LinkedIn. Let me just log in. That's my email ID. I think I have two-factor authentication on LinkedIn. Let me just put that password in. 565725. All right, so we're on LinkedIn, and what you need to do is you need to go to Sales Navigator, right? Which is this click on the right. If you don't have Sales Navigator, just click on this work thing here and just look at sales solutions and you'll be able to buy Sales Navigator. It's got a free 1-month trial. I wouldn't recommend you buying anything, but Sales Navigator is something that's very important if you're doing B2B sales. You absolutely mandatorily need it right now. Not because Sales Navigator is an awesome tool, but because LinkedIn is an awesome platform for prospecting. You need to use it. I don't have any alternatives at the moment. It's the only way you can actually segregate people by the company they work at. So if you don't use it, somebody else is. So get the best tools. And either way, it's free for a month. So nothing lost for you guys. So click on Sales Navigator, and this is Sales Navigator. Here's what we're going to do, right? Maybe we're going to look at vice presidents of marketing of big companies in India, right? So I'm just going to click on search for leads, right? And this depends on what your prospecting is, what your prospect chart is. Let's see. Industry. Let's say I want everybody in the, I want information technology. And I'm not going to look at different types of companies. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to look at companies in India, actually. And I'm going to look at the headcount of at least 1,000 to 5,000 and maybe larger. So you check on all of these three, at least 5,000 employees, big companies. And I want at least VP level, or I want CXO, where the X can stand for anything. So it could be CEO, CFO, COO, doesn't matter, right? I'm also going to look at owners, and I'm going to look at partners. And these are the roles I want. And I'm looking for the marketing function. Okay, so this looks good. What I have is I have 640 results that I can actually reach out to, right? So you have people at Tech Mahindra, you have people at IBM, you have people at Manipal Press, so big companies, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the Foxbound tool, right? And I'm going to just log in quickly. It's the Foxbound Chrome extension. And obviously there are many tools that allow you to do what Foxbound does. Most of them are paid. You're free to use any tool you want. Don't feel compelled to use Foxbound. Let me just create a new list. Let's call it demo. I'm just going to create a list. Right? And here are all the people. As you can see, they're already here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add contacts to the list. Right? And that automatically finds their email IDs. So when we go to the Foxbound tool, we'll find all of these people along with their email IDs like magic. Right? So if you go to Foxbound and you go to the lists and we click on our demo list, in a bit, as soon as this is done, whoopsie, you can't change the page while doing it. I'm so sorry, because the Chrome extension scrapes data live. Let's just wait patiently. While we wait, one thing that I want to add is that prospecting, getting somebody's email ID is not as important as actually finding out who you want to reach out to. Because I know a lot of people who just use this as a way to, like a heat-seeking missile, which they say, okay, these are the people I want to reach out to. They print the names out and then they find out some way or the other to reach out to these people, right? So you don't have to specifically only send them an email. And these, like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, is just a way to know your target, so to say. Right, so this should be done. Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to refresh this page. So while we wait for this list to come on board, I'm just going to show you some other list. Let me show you a new list, which I had scraped a long time ago. So as you can see, all the tick-marked emails are good emails and the red ones are emails not found. You have to understand that a tool like Foxbound, its job is to guess the emails and then send them an actual ping to make sure whether the email inbox exists or not, right? So it does some funky math in the background. I'm not going to tell you about that. But the point is, what we're going to do here is, this is an old list that I'm showing you. You can just export this, right? So export CSV. And CSV stands for comma separated values, right? So if I open this, and maybe I'll open this in Notepad. Actually, I'll open this in Google Docs, right? Or Google Sheets. I'll open this in Google Sheets. You can just create a blank sheet. You can create a blank sheet, and I'm just going to import. I'm going to upload a file. You go to downloads. I think it was called list-new list. Yes, that's what it's called. So it's uploading. Just import data as it is. And as you can see, this is the list you just exported. And that's the cool part. Right now, we have their email IDs and we can actually reach out to these people. We know these are all chiefs of marketing. I think I made a similar search last time, or VPs of marketing, or heads of marketing. So this list we can actually use, we can reach out to, and that's the beauty of a tool like Foxbound. So now you have your target list, the people you have to go out to, and then now we can actually send them a first email. So what we can do on Foxbound, right, is we can actually go to lists, and we can go to something called pursuit. So you click here and you click on pursuit. A pursuit allows you to reach out to a lead without being manual about it. You can actually use variables. You can actually use their first name. As you can see in this spreadsheet, we have things like first name, we have things like last name. So you can make a sort of personalized message, because if you just spam somebody saying, hey, check out my service or check out my product, they're not going to be interested. Foxbound allows you to personalize each and every of your email. And the idea is you don't just send them emails once, you can send them emails multiple times. So let me show you. We're going to create a new pursuit. Let's call it reaching out to marketing people. Okay. Creating a pursuit. And this is your campaign, right? So what we're going to do is first we're going to add a step. So add a new step. And Threads in Foxbound, in emails, threads are, whether you reply to the same email or you create a new email. So we're just going to create a new email here. We're going to send the email on day 0. We're going to call it, hey, how's it going? It's a terrible subject line, but I'm just giving you an example. Hi, and we want it to be a little personal. We want to put in the first name. We want to put in the person's first name. So we're going to say, hi, and then we click here, which are the variables, right? And as you can see, there's first name available here. You click on the first name. Hi, John, right? So here's your preview on the right. I heard things are going well. Now let's be spammy. Check out my service. This is the worst way to write an email, but I'm just giving you an example, right? So you can just save that. Okay. And then what you can do is you can add another step, because and we learned this in the email video, it's a very rare thing that you send somebody an email and they reply on your first email. You need to keep sending them emails without being spammy about it. So let's send them a follow-up email. Let's add another step. And this time, let's make it part of the same old thread, which is, how's it going? As you can see, there's no subject line now because you're replying to your old email, right? And these people will probably get this email in their Gmail or their Yahoo. It doesn't matter. And it will look like it's been replied to by you. So let's send it 3 days after the first email. And let's say, hey, your job as job title. And as you can see, preview, it's awesome. So your job as VP marketing or whatever is probably a hectic role. Do you want to quit? I'm just being funny or not so funny about this. You save it and that's it. These are your steps. All you have to do is go to your lists, click on your lists. So we go to new list. Let's add all of these people to the list. Let's select all of them. Let's add to pursuit. Reaching out to marketing people. Awesome. Me too. You go to pursuits. Reaching out to marketing people. And you click on the schedule button. Right? Which just means you can send out emails. Now, one cool thing is before you send out emails to everybody that you're reaching out to, from Matt, who's here, it's the same guys, right? There's Matt, there's Tim, there's Nick. All these people are also available on this screen. So you can actually personalize each email. And one cool thing about Foxbound is it actually allows you to actually see some details or do a quick Google search without opening a new tab. We call this the personalizer. You can know about the person and you can know about the company he or she works at. So Mark here, I think, he's talking about the industry's future in 2017. Hey, Mark, I saw your 2007 YouTube video on industry's future. Must say it was rad. Check out my service. So you can do this and you can just click on launch pursuit, and that's all it takes to actually get your first touch out. And even though you're sending out 3 or 4 emails, until the person replies, it's not actually your first touch. The first touch is when both people, both you as well as the prospect, exchange messages. It's a first touch, not a first outreach, right? So I'm not going to send this out because I don't want Mark from Ford to mark me as spam. So I'm just going to close this, and that's that for this video. We learned how to actually prospect, and this is a useful tool. Maybe you guys will be able to use it and don't spam. It's that old Spider-Man quote, right? With great power comes great responsibility. With email comes the responsibility to not spam. So yeah, be responsible. Bye-bye.